Hi, welcome back to Quinwell Pod Creations tutorial videos. I haven't been able to make a video for a while, so I decided I'd just show the process of making this custom order medallion. I used some size 0 enamel beading thread, size 15 John James beading needles, some green tan leather for the backing. Used the embroidery hoop for the first time to secure my beadwork, and some size 15 beads. The middle of the medallion, I did a circular design and then filled in the shape of the medallion and trimmed out the edges so I could do the peyote stitch. And before I attach it, I sewed the rope onto the beadwork, put the cardboard in between, cut the green tan leather, and use some Elmer's glue to glue it all together. We're going to do that peyote stitch all the way around the edge. Start in the middle so I can get my design that I want centered on each of the four I don't know what to call them, the 4 sections of the medallion. So 7 beads. I need an odd number, so I do that. Peyote stitch, 7 beads go across the whole outer edge. So you put on 1 bead, go through the 2nd bead, pull it nice and tight so it's snug up against the beadwork. Put on another bead, go through the next bead. So you're just doing that peyote stitch, but you're going around the edge of the medallion. Just making sure they all line up and they're straight and in the right spot. And put your bead on and skip a bead and go to the next one. You get to the end of the back side, put on 1 bead, make sure it's all nice, real nice and snug and tight. Make sure you get it in the right, so that it's even with the row before. And then just go through, but when you go through you want to make sure you're coming up right where that 2nd row started on the front side, because you're going to use that first bead of the 2nd row to start your peyote. So you're going to go through that bead, that first bead. You'll use that first bead. Then you'll continue the peyote. And then on the back side you'll go through that last bead. So you'll be alternating using the prior bead, and you'll catch on, you'll see it, and then go back to front, and then you'll go right next to it, because the next row you'll be adding a bead on instead of using the first bead. You'll be adding that 1 bead on first. Go to the 2nd bead, add a bead on. So you're doing your peyote stitch. If you don't know how to do your peyote stitch, I have a YouTube with making a lighter case, so that you're putting on 1 bead and skipping it and going through the next one. And getting them, make sure they're all even, sitting right next to each other, just like a peyote. And the back side you're going to go through that next to the last bead there, and you'll put on 1 bead and then go through right next to that row. Back to front side, you're going to come up right where that row is before, because you're going to use that first bead for your next row. So you go through that first bead. Like I said, you'll be alternating using the first bead for one row and then adding a bead for the other row, for the next row, so that you're getting that peyote stitch to fit right up next to the beadwork and be even on the back side. And you just continue that on, working that design all the way around the edge. I did a design on the center of each one of those little sections, and then just did the rest. And then I did a peyote stitch for the necklace. I worked it, leaving it attached on one. Attached my needle, got it secure, coming up right next to the beadwork. Worked it, leaving the rope as a whole so that I wouldn't have to worry about dealing with tangling, getting tangled up. I had 15 beads that would fit around the necklace part. So I wrap it around and then just work my peyote right around the outside, right around the necklace. Created a design to match the medallion colors and design and the flowers, leaves that were in the circle. And just turning it and working it as a whole rope. And just pull that tight and get as close as you can to beadwork, and then finish that peyote. And then once I finished it, then I cut them apart and burned the edges so they wouldn't ravel. I attached my needle to the beadwork again and went through the last row of beads, just securing them. And then make sure I come up through the rope, and so I could attach the hardware to the rope, end of the rope. And I watched a YouTube video showing how to attach these pieces. So I put on a cone and I added a small silver bead, and then I put on an eye pin they use in jewelry making, and then I go back through the silver bead and the cone, going through the rope and pulling it down through just to make sure it's secure, pulling the rope up through into that cone, and go back up through the cone and the bead and through the eye pin and back down, just to get another secure run through that, all that. So just to keep it all together and hold it together, just go back, weave back and forth through the rope. Then once I have that all finished, then to all secured, and then make sure that it's not going to come apart. Then we're going to just with the eye pin, you're going to make a loop, bend it over, make sure it kind of comes out even, like the match the other one. But you're going to wrap that eye pin around wire pliers, and then, you know, snip it off once you have a loop made. Then you're gonna just add a jump ring to one side, and then a claw. A claw fastener. You attach a jump ring, and then the claw fastener. So that's the hardware to the necklace, and then I put some horsehair to hang down instead of using beads and fringe. I just thought the horsehair would look nicer, so pull out a chunk of horsehair, separated it into 3 bunches, and took that bunch of horsehair and folded it in half and tied a knot in the middle of that bunch of hair. Okay, a knot, and then wrapped it so it's real nice and secure around that bunch. Hold it all together. Let's run my needle through the whole big wrap around a couple times. And we're going to make sure my needle comes up through and go through the cone, put on a silver bead, and pull that hair right up into that cone. And I'm going to attach it to the medallion, going through the edging, coming up right next to the beadwork, pulling it all the way up there, getting it secure. Come back down, go back through the bead in the cone, make another run up through everything, go through the horsehair wrap again, and go back up, pulling that horsehair inside the cone, making it real secure in there. Yeah, nice and tight. And then tie it off. And you burn your edges so the knot won't come undone. Yeah, you're just going to go back up through. Pull it up through there. It's just nice and tight. I did a double knot, pushing it down in between the rows of beads. You can't see the knot. Snipped it up, and that's all I did. And that was a custom order peyote stitch, edging peyote stitch necklace. Looked real nice with that peyote. My first time doing peyote stitch editing. Turned out real good. Horsehair. Real nice. Well, thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or need any further instruction, just let me know. Come and join my group, Guatemala Creations on Facebook. Answer all 3 questions or I won't accept you. Or you can visit my website, www.quinwapacreations.com. Thanks for stopping by. See you.